the big issue in Washington right now. Government spending. The fiscal year comes to an end at the end of September, so we are not that far away. On October 1st, if there is not a plan in place, everything shuts down. And normally you get 1 or 2 bills done of the 12 appropriations bills. Right now they got 1. They don't even have the defense bill done, and that's usually the easy one. Some of these folks in the House said no way. So this is going to have profound consequences. People who are in the military are going to feel it in a way that they haven't before because they're usually always taken care of. Now, people will argue, they'll all get paid back and whatever. I'm sorry, I get that. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you might get paid back in 30 days or 60 days. But if you got rent to pay, if you have a car payment or a credit card payment, or you just got to get food, that matters. And I think we have to understand that for a lot of folks in the military and a lot of folks at the lower end of the scale, this is a big deal. So where do we stand? Here's the deal. There was a deal to put a plan in place. I mentioned this yesterday. The House Main Street Partnership with the more moderate folks and the Freedom Caucus. And with the Freedom Caucus, we're talking about Chip Roy of Texas, Byron Donalds of Florida, Scott Perry of Pennsylvania. These are the leaders of the conservative movement. These are folks that took over from Jim Jordan when he gave up the chairmanship of the Freedom Caucus. These guys were saying it was a good deal. It cut spending. It dealt with the border. But you've got a bunch of guys now that are saying no way. Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene. The problem that I have is give some people a demand. Say, here's what we need. And it's all this jello. You can't. At this point, give us something. Because, by the way, the Senate has this bipartisan deal. What's being passed is just a starting point. But this is going to look so bad on Republicans who are up for re-election, who have a very narrow majority. So they got to get their act together and message better about what they're doing. I talked about this on a radio program this morning. Focus on the border. That's so obvious. The mayor of New York, the bluest city, is saying he's appalled by what's happening, that his city's getting overwhelmed. So guess what, Republicans? Why don't you jam this administration and say, until you fund the border, until you close it, until you commit to more agents that you're allowed to do their job, that we won't do this. I can get on board on that. I think most Americans can do that. I bet you most Democrats can get on board. That would be a great thing. Come up with a plan. Right now, the Democrats are sitting back and looking like in awe, laughing. And they really are. Read the reports. But here's what's also happening. You have a group of 4 or 5 Republicans, which is all you need, who are willing to team up with the Democrats to pass what they call a clean continuing resolution. That's where we're going right now. These guys are willing to team up with them. And I'm just telling you, that's not going to go well. But their view is, hey, you guys can't get us a deal on the conservative side that we can sign off on, and it's a mess. So why don't we, 5 or 6 of us, team up with the Democrats, jam them, pass it through clean? That's what's going to happen if we don't see these guys get their act together.